So if you've seen my headlight videos on the channel before, you'll know that I'm not a huge fan of halogen lights, especially halogen headlights. And you'll know that I'm also a huge fan of Auxbeam lights. So today I have a set of low beam, high beam, and then switchback signals and the resistors to make them work. And we're gonna be installing them in this 2007 GMC Sierra 2500 HD Duramax. Now, not only am I switching to full LEDs on the whole front of this truck, I'm actually switching to black housing headlights as well because I'm not a huge fan of the whole chrome look. So this is actually just a use that I picked up off Facebook. So once they're on the truck, I'll do a quick wet sand and a polish on them because they do have a fair amount of rock chips on them. But once they're all polished up, they should look not too bad. So the unfortunate thing with these trucks, with the Sierras anyway, you have to pull the whole bumper top cap as well as the grille in order to get the headlights out, as opposed to the Silverado where you can just pull the grille and the headlights. So I'm gonna get started doing that, and then I'll catch up with you after that. Now with these ones removed, you can tell they were due for an upgrade. This one, obviously, I think is an original one, judging by how much fading's going on here. This one, I think, was replaced in an accident at one point. And then there's all the parts that you need to take off in order to get the headlights out. So now these headlights, they kind of have their own harness for them. So I'll have to switch over the harness to these ones. However, I'm gonna need to be putting resistors in for each signal light, so that the truck knows not to freak out when it doesn't realize that there's a halogen bulb there, because that's how you get hyperflash. The LEDs are a way lower resistance than a halogen, which causes the truck to think that there's no bulb in place when actually there is. There's just an LED. So it creates that hyperflash, which is designed so that you know when a bulb's out, it'll hyperflash to make you realize that you have a bulb out. But in fact you don't, you just have LEDs in place. So I'll be figuring out which wires in here have to do with signal. You want the signal wires, not the park light wires. So once you figure out the signal light wire, you'll do one side of the resistor to that and then one side to ground, and you'll have to do that on each bulb. So I will do that right now. So just finished up the wiring on the one side. I'll give you a bit of a closer look. So I figured out, I traced it on the truck side. I found out it's the tan. I think that's a tan wire. That's the signal wire. Then it comes down through here, and then tough to see, but then it goes into this bulb, and then it actually comes out, and then it goes into this bulb. So the way I have it set up, the wire going into the first one, have it teeing off onto the resistor, then it goes into the bulb, comes out, and then on the one coming out, I have another resistor teeing off of it, and then both the resistors are on this ground wire. Now, it doesn't matter which way you have the resistor put. It's not directional, you can put it whichever way you want, doesn't matter. All it has to do is take up the resistance. So, now that that's in there, I'll install this on the headlight, probably put some double-sided tape on these, and stick them to the side of the headlight, and then install it and see if they work. And now with them both installed, you can see that this just looks so much better. The black housing on the black truck looks real good. We have the white LEDs for the low beams, which look also really good. And if we turn on high beams, turn off hazards, you get that full white look And I think that looks so good. They're super bright. Hopefully they're aimed pretty good. So yeah, next thing I'm gonna do, scuff them with 2000, maybe 3000 grit. Go over them with some polish, with a polisher on a drill. And then hopefully that should bring back some shine and get rid of a little bit of this kind of rough texture going on. Well, I went ahead and polished the other one off camera. This one shined up a lot better than the other one for some reason, but just the way it goes. As you can see, there's still little rock chips and stuff in them, and it's kind of what you expect for used headlights, right? I can tell they've had a lot of miles on them, probably highway miles, just from all the rock chips, but they turned out not too bad. So the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is throw the bumper top and the grille back on, and then see how it all looks completed. So that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you liked the install. Hopefully it was somewhat informative. I learned a thing or two on this install, so that's always good. And I got a lot more planned for this Duramax here, so be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel because I got a lot more, like I said. So with that being said, we're gonna see you guys in the next one.